I'm the guy you see on the highway tugging a tiny A-liner. It's usually the smallest trailer in the campsite, but the one that gets the most attention. In this episode, I'll show you how I prep my tiny Aliner Ranger tent for a short camping trip in California's Central Valley. From pulling the A-liner out of the garage, prepping food, and getting everything packed for a 3-day excursion that includes California's beautiful forests and coastline. Welcome to Have Map, Will Travel. The travel dates for this camping trip occurred from June 23rd to June 26, 2024. Departing from eastern LA County, I headed north on Interstate 5, and once in the Central Valley, I transitioned to California State Route 99 and drove directly to Clovis, California, where I picked up my younger brother. From Clovis, we backtracked south about 45 miles to Visalia, California. Campsites were not available at Sequoia or Kings Canyon National Parks, so I made reservations at Visalia Sequoia National Park KOA. There were plenty of sites available during the weekday, and I made sure I had an electrical hookup station to power my air conditioner, as it was 108 degrees. And brother, was I glad that I opted to get an air conditioner on my A-liner, as it cooled down the tiny RV in about an hour. But before I started my road trip, there were preparations that needed to be made, starting with the A-liner. The day before my departure, I needed to pull it out of the garage. When camping, dinner is usually a challenge to make. I've spent the day hiking or driving around, and I am just not in the mood to cook a hot meal. Thankfully, I learned from my dear mom to prep dinner ahead of time, and all that is required at the campsite is to heat the food and then eat it. She's a smart lady. Sloppy Joe is a camping tradition that goes way back. It's easy to make. All you need is ground turkey or the ground meat of your choice, a can of Manwich Sloppy Joe sauce, cheddar cheese, and hamburger buns. Simply brown the meat, drain the excess grease, pour the sauce and simmer for several minutes. Let cool and then place in a label Ziploc bag. At the campsite, pour the meat contents into a pan, heat, and then eat. It's that easy. I also use paste picante sauce to mix with ground turkey to make tasty tacos, tostadas, or burritos. Yummy! On departure day, I packed the perishable foods in the electric cooler inside the Aliner and the ice chest inside the tow vehicle. I also packed the remaining items inside the RV and the tow vehicle. Once loaded, I checked the tire pressure of the Aliner. Remember to check the pressure on the spare tire. I also checked the tire pressure on all 4 tires and the spare tire of the tow vehicle. Also check the engine fluids on the tow vehicle. It's time to hitch up the trailer and hit the road. The tow vehicle handled the high elevation of the Grapevine without a problem, and once leaving LA, it's a straight shot through the flatness of State Route 99. During our stay in Visalia, my brother and I spent the first day at Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks, which are located next to each other. One of the nice features of my Aliner Ranger 10 is that it came equipped with an electric cooler. It's portable and it runs on a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. Lucky for me, there's a 12-volt plug in the back of my car. I packed it into the tow vehicle and it kept our sandwich meats, lettuce, and potato salad nice and cold. We found a picnic table by the river and had a delicious lunch. On the way back, we encountered a little bit of rain, but it was bone dry at our campsite in Visalia. As I mentioned earlier, we stayed at Visalia Sequoia National Park KOA. It's a small campground with less than 100 sites, most of which are pull-throughs. There is a small convenience store, laundromat, bathrooms with showers, and a swimming pool. The staff was friendly and attentive, and the public areas were clean and well kept. The following day, my brother and I drove to the California coast and had lunch at Morro Bay. It was about a 2.5-hour drive from our campsite, but well worth it. The temperature was 67 degrees, and we felt a bit cold as we enjoyed the sights of the small coastal town of Morro Bay. I recommend you pay a visit if you're ever in the area. On departure day, we unhooked the electrical cord and water hose, hitched up the Aliner to the Honda, and went home. It was a lovely vacation, even with the 100+ degree weather. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found the video helpful and enjoyable. If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. More videos to follow as I travel the highways and interstates in my tiny Aliner.